For our next portion of the assembly, we'll be doing the solenoid assembly. Now, we saw earlier when we were doing the pin assembly that a lot of the pins that come with active vacuum pumps have a small circular hole that you put your finger on to open and close the vacuum. Now, we didn't want to have something like that on ours because we didn't want any kind of motion with the finger activation, and we wanted to do something more solid such as with the foot pedal. So we're replacing this functionality with a solenoid. Now, the solenoid has an intake side and an outtake side with a valve in the middle that's controlled by this electrical coil, and you can get these in different various forms and values. This one is a DC 12 volt at 250 milliamps. I specifically chose this one so it'd be easy to get various power supplies that would work with it. A 1 amp or 2 amp power supply at 12 volts is very common and easy to use. So I've removed the plastic cover on this one, and you can see that it has some screw terminals here that allow you to attach wires for activating and providing power to the device. They're not polarized, so you can put them on in either direction and it will still operate. However, some of them do come with an LED attached to indicate when the solenoid is active. If you are going to use the LED or want it to be functional, you want to check the polarity of that before you connect it. So what we're going to connect to it is a 2.1 millimeter barrel jack that I purchased online through Amazon. It comes with wire leads already attached and properly marked for red for positive, black for negative. While it does come pre-tinned and stripped, the wire was not stripped back far enough to really work with the screw terminals on the solenoid, so I did have to strip it back a little bit. So we're going to take this, feed it through the plastic housing that has an opening for the wires, and then we're going to insert the wires directly into the screw terminals and tighten them down with a Phillips head screwdriver. Once they're secure, I'm going to replace the plastic cover and snap it down, and then we're going to screw it down through the top screw. And there we have it. So we've connected the wiring directly to the solenoid. Our next step is going to be attach this 1/4 inch NPT male and 1/8 inch barb directly to the output side of the coil. One thing that you'll notice is when I put this back together, this is how the device usually comes, because you will want to have on a normal operation some sort of connection here on the intake. Because we're not really connecting anything on the intake side of ours, and we want to try to make this as compact as possible, I did rotate the plastic cover down to make it a little bit smaller. So now we're going to take our connection here and put on some more plumber's tape. Now, the plumber's tape, as we learned earlier, provides a method for lubricating the threads and providing a good solid seal. And while you can tear this by hand, I really recommend that you use a pair of scissors, and then you want to thread this in and tighten it down with a wrench. And this section is complete and ready for the rest of the assembly.